His touch lingered at my back. Warmth, close presence, undeniable. Then didn't think we'd be getting entertainment tonight. The voice was smooth, unfamiliar. I felt them before I ever saw them, but I didn't stop, I exhaled, turning just enough to acknowledge them before looking away. Then I lifted my hand, motioning them forward. Wordless, certain. Before we dive in, take a quick second to like this video and hit subscribe. It's fast and helps more than you know. Plus, you won't want to miss what's coming next. And if you're already subscribed, thank you, I appreciate you. Now let's begin. The mirror behind the bar caught my reflection. Dark eyes, parted lips. A dress that did exactly what I needed it to do. Tight in all the right places. Dipping just enough to make a man forget his vows. Perfect. Somewhere in the back of my mind, the night had already started. His hands finding my waist, my back against the wall, his breath at my throat. Heat rolling through me, building. Breaking the music, a distant thrum lost beneath his voice. His presence slow at first. Then inevitable, a glass slammed on the bar. Jolting me back, I rolled the last sip of my drink over my tongue. Breathing deep before setting the glass down. The ice had melted. The night hadn't even started, and already I was losing myself. 2 days. That's all the time he had left before another woman had him. Before I lost this chance forever. Not even a glance. My fingertips skimmed the rim of my glass slow. Deliberate. Across the room he stood exactly as I knew he would. Relaxed, effortless, laughing at something I didn't hear. His tie had been long discarded. The top button's undone skin peeking through. One hand wrapped loosely around his drink, the other dragging through his hair as he talked. I knew that hand. I knew how it felt gripping my waist when we danced too close. When he caught me before I stumbled. When he pulled me out of the way of a crowd. Innocent until it wasn't. I ran my tongue along my bottom lip and shifted my hips, just enough to feel the fabric of my dress tighten. Still nothing he hadn't noticed me fine. If he wasn't going to look, I'd make sure he had no choice. I picked up my drink, taking slow, measured steps through the crowd. The bass rolled through my chest, bodies shifting around me, the heat of the room pressing against my skin. Someone murmured something low as I passed, fingers grazing my back, but I barely registered it. I wasn't here for them. I reached him just as he turned, and when his eyes finally landed on me, I saw it, that flicker of something behind them. That heat. I leaned in close enough for him to feel the warmth of my breath as my fingers skimmed his wrist. Ready for the wildest night of your life. He smirked slow, amused like he was waiting for the punchline. Wildest night of my life. His voice was smooth, teasing. That's a bold promise. I tilted my head. Smile lingering as my finger traced the glass. I don't make promises, I make guarantees. He chuckled, but he stayed close. You always talk like this, or is tonight special? Tonight is special, I leaned in. Close enough for his cologne to mix with the whiskey on his lips. For you at least? His eyes flickered, considering. And what does that make you trouble? The word sat between us, waited, daring. He let it sit for just a second. Too long before shaking his head. You never used to flirt with me like this. Maybe I never had a reason to. You had years, and you had every chance to stop me before I started. His jaw flexed. I pressed closer. My lips barely an inch from his ear. Tell me you haven't thought about it. His hand twitched. He still hadn't touched me. But he hadn't stepped away either. I shouldn't, he said quietly. But he did. I kissed him slow at first, teasing. Then deep enough to leave no doubt. His hesitation barely lasted a second before he kissed me back. Fingers pressing into my waist, gripping me like he should have done years ago. I let the kiss linger for just a second more, before taking his wrist and leading him through the crowd. A few voices called out behind us. Half laughing, half cheering, but I barely heard them. I pushed open the first door and tugged him in. The door clicked to shut before I could take another breath. He was on me, his hands firm, his body pressing me back until my legs met the bed. A shiver ran through me as I sank onto the mattress, laughter spilling from my lips as he followed. Hovering just above, "You planned this, didn't you?" His voice was low, teasing against my skin. "You're only figuring that out now," I whispered back, fingers already working at his belt. He smirked, but the way his chest rose slow, uneven, told me everything I needed to know. This was what I'd been waiting for. Years of tension, of stolen glances, of knowing we had always been one step away from this. No more waiting. I pulled him closer, catching his mouth in another kiss. Deeper this time as my hand slid lower. His belt loosened beneath my touch, fabric shifting, fingers tracing skin. His breath hitched against my lips, hands already at the straps of my dress, easing them down, bearing inch after inch of warm skin beneath. I eased him back just enough to follow the lines of his body, my hands drifting over his stomach, noting the way his muscles reacted beneath my fingertips. "Let me," I murmured, voice light but deliberate. His fingers twitched at his sides, his thighs stiffening slightly as I moved. My breath skimmed over his skin, heat lingering between us. Every touch slow and intentional. His breathing turned uneven. The weight of anticipation thickened the air. A quiet exhale slipped from him, his fingers tracing through my hair before his touch ghosted along my jaw. Lifting my gaze to his, "Come here." His voice carried a quiet urgency. Low but unhurried, I didn't hesitate. He guided me up, shifting me until I was beneath him, his presence grounding me as everything around us faded. I leaned in, closing the space between us, letting the anticipation build with every heartbeat. His fingers pressed lightly at my waist, studying me, keeping me close, like he had been waiting for this moment as long as I had. And then I let the last of my hesitation slip away. A sharp breath left my lips as we fell into rhythm, adjusting to each other with effortless ease, like the moment had always been waiting for us. His head tipped back slightly, his grip on me unwavering as we matched each other, every shift sending something electric through me. It was better than I ever imagined. The way we moved together, natural, unspoken, like we had always belonged here. Each moment surrounded me, the charge between us thickening with every breath. His fingers glided along my spine, guiding me closer, keeping us locked in the moment. I braced my hands against his chest, feeling the tension pull tight, drawing me deeper into the moment. Didn't think we'd get a show tonight. The voice was smooth, unfamiliar. We stilled. I felt them before I ever saw them, but I didn't stop. I exhaled, turning just enough to acknowledge them before looking away. Then I kept going, their presence thickened behind me, unspoken but undeniable, watching. Waiting anticipation thickened the air. I let it stretch, deliberate, drawn out. Then I lifted my hand, two fingers curling a silent beckoning. No words, no hesitation. Just an invitation, a pause. Then another curiosity one. The first one moved, then another. Heat closed in their presence, surrounding me. A touch light at first, a hand grazing my hip, a breath warming my shoulder. I exhaled, steady, unfazed. Then bolder fingertips traced my arm, mapping the lines of my back, the shift in energy undeniable, hesitation melting into certainty. A quiet murmur close to my ear. Amused? Knowing Then fingers at my waist testing. Lingering, I let them. The soft slide of fabric, the whisper of movement as layers slipped away one by one. No rush, only slow. Deliberate unraveling, I felt them take it in. The silence, the weighted glances. The anticipation thickening with every inch revealed. A firm palm at my back grounding me. Another touch skimmed lower, exploring. Lingering, their warmth pressed in the space between us. Vanishing. Every shift drawing them closer. The last piece of fabric slipped away. I was surrounded. The rhythm never wavered, not once. I was still at the center of it. Still in control, my body moving with instinct. Drawn deeper into the moment, hands held my waist, grounding me, guiding me into something intense. Something unspoken, but I wasn't alone anymore. A new touchlight at first. A barely there trace along my back sent a slow shiver through me. Another followed, gliding over my arm. Lingering at my thigh, a presence making itself known without words. I exhaled steady, letting the warmth close in. The shift was subtle but undeniable. Anticipation thickened, curiosity lingering in the space between us, waiting to be answered. I let my hands move freely, exploring, discovering every brush of fingertips. Tracing unfamiliar paths, every movement met with quiet reactions. Sharp inhales, slow exhales. A presence adjusting to my touch. I felt them, their hesitation, their interest, so I gave them more. My fingers moved deliberately, memorizing the heat beneath them, tracing over tension, pressing just enough to feel their silent response, a murmur, a quiet sound of approval. The space around us buzzed, charged the moment, stretching, deepening, then another, kneeling at the edge of the bed, so close I could feel the warmth of his presence hovering, waiting. I turned toward him, my breath skimming close, an unspoken understanding passing between us. He didn't hesitate, the moment unfolded naturally, the rhythm never breaking. Hands wove into my hair, not pulling, just lingering, feeling, savoring every movement. I let myself sink into it. Hands at my waist, lips at my shoulder. The weight of their presence wrapped around me, surrounding me from every side, keeping me in place, letting the moment take its course. The shift came effortlessly. 1 second, I was leading, the next. I was yielding, my body sinking into the sheets, drawn deeper into the heat pressing in from all directions. There was no hesitation, no restraint. I surrendered fully, letting the rhythm guide me. Pulled further into the moment with every touch, every unspoken invitation. Time blurred, one movement melting into the next. Each shift sending a pulse of sensation through me. The air thickened, charged, filled with the sound of breath sinking. Bodies aligning, everything moving in perfect rhythm. Every touch lingered, mapping out every reaction. Every shift between us seamless and unhurried. The tension pulled tight, building, rising, drawing us all deeper. The moment stretching into something all-consuming. Then everything unraveled. A slow, pulsing heat spread through me, overtaking everything, washing over me in waves. My breath catching as I sank into it, letting it carry me completely. The feeling didn't fade, it settled, wrapping around me, stretching the moment into something endless. I had what I wanted for so long and so much more. But let's be honest, if you had a friend like that, one who always seemed just a little too close, would you ever let her make a move? Or would you act first before it was too late? Have you ever had a friendship where the tension felt different? Where one moment could have changed everything? Would you take the chance or walk away? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And before you go, don't forget to like this video and hit subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're always the first to know when a new story drops. You won't want to miss what's coming. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.